Good afternoon, DrupalCon, and welcome to this session, Dropsolid DXP demonstration for marketers. I'm really happy to have you here. I hope you just had a refreshing break and enjoyed the conference and the Dries note so far. Over the next 30 minutes, I will be demonstrating you how Dropsolid digital experience platform might solve some challenges that you have as marketers working with Drupal. Hello, I'm Leen Penders. I am Chief Marketing at Dropsolid with a long background of over 15 years in marketing automation and customer experience. I'm still fresh to the Drupal community, working with Dropsolid as my first Drupal company for a year and a half. So I'm really excited to be here at DrupalCon, and I'm also really excited to be experimenting with personalization in the new and very cool layout builder of Drupal. So here's what we are doing at Dropsolid with our digital experience platform. We are, enriching Drupal as the content management system with features around marketing automation. We're doing that with an open source solution called Mautic. And also we're enriching Drupal with features from customer data platform and personalization capabilities. And we're offering that as an integrated framework of marketer tools for delivering personalized customer experiences. I won't be talking today about why personalized experiences are so important. I had a session about that this morning, but I'm happy to jump in individual conversations with you guys if you would have any questions after this session. But this session today is really supposed to be a very practical deep dive in these different components of our experience platform so that you understand how you can add them to your Drupal and what you can get out of it. And to do this demonstration, I am using a journey from Sophia to demonstrate what we are building today. So meet Sophia. Sophia is 27. She's a teacher and she lives with her fiance in an apartment in the city center of Ghent. She's a very creative person. And today she is looking for a gift to surprise her mom. So while she's browsing through her Instagram feed, she comes across an ad from Florista about Mother's Day gifts. So she clicks the ad to end up on the website of Florista. This is a landing page for Mother's Day with different kinds of gifts for different kinds of moms. And also on that page, there is a list of recent blogs, of which there is one about Atelier Purple Rain, and it looks like flowers that her mom likes. So she clicks on the blog and she continues to that page. Now, this is a regular blog, but since Sophia landed on this page and she came in to the website on her visit today from a Mother's Day ad, we can do some personalization on this blog to make it a bit more appealing to her in the sense of Mother's Day. So we have some Mother's Day personalization, and at the bottom of the blog, there is a form that you can download with more tips or more tutorials. So when she does that, she receives an email with a download option to download that tutorial. Very nice in the styling of Florista. But at that moment, she gets a call from her friend and she forgets all about it. So we kind of lost her in her journey. So yes, she did a small conversion by leaving her email address, but she didn't end up buying something for her mom, which was her intention in the first place. So we lost her in the journey, but by sending her an email 3 days later with more tips to celebrate her mom, we can drag her back in. And in this email, we give her more Mother's Day content. And from here, yeah, she goes back to the website and she continues her user journey. When she now returns to the homepage, it's personalized not only with Mother's Day content, but also with workshops. Because from her behavior across her previous browsing sessions and also clicks in the emails, we've discovered that she's engaging a lot with content about tutorials and workshops and DIY things. So she's not really the typical online shopper, but she's more exploring to build and to create things by herself. So from her behavior, we can deduct that. And with that information, we can now personalize her homepage by showing a form to subscribe to our workshops, for example. And the same we can do in our newsletters. So from now on, we have her email address and she will get the regular newsletter, which is personalized again with workshops, maybe with some Mother's Day content and other things. So this is a very good way to stay top of mind at relevant times and keep bringing her back to the website occasionally. And you also see that while Sophia, she's the same person, over time, her behavior and her intent will change. At first, she came to our website looking for something to surprise her mom. But then she got interested in some workshops. And because she's getting married, if in some newsletter we put some bridal tips and she engages with that content, then we can also put her in a bridal segment and personalize on that. So Sophia stays the same person, but her intent changes over time. And your personalization, when you're doing it, it can also better be flexible over time so that you can understand the context and use that in your personalization. So now let's get to action. How can we build such personal experiences? What I will show you today is how we are creating such a personalized homepage, where for some people, there is a form on the website on the homepage, while for others, there is just some imagery. What I will also show you is how to create such a personalized newsletter. With the same information and the same segments, you can also personalize content over emails. As well as how you can use these forms in your website. Forms with automation, so that, for example, when you put a download form on your website, you can also follow up with emails and maybe with complete marketing automation journeys. I will also be showing you how you can do this in Drupal and how user-friendly it really is. So how am I doing that? I'm using the Dropsolid's open digital experience platform. It's a platform built on top of Drupal. So we're using Drupal for the website content management part. The Dropsolid Experience Cloud has marketing automation features, which actually use Mautic, open source marketing automation platform. As well as for the customer data and personalization part, there's also an underlying open source platform called Apache Unomi, for which we've built a UI on top of it so that it becomes very easy for marketers to use it and to build segments on top of that really rich customer data platform. Now, how we're typically building those journeys, there's a few steps that we typically take. First, it's really key to get insight in your visitors. We're doing that using both Mautic and Unomi. And very important here is that since these tools are open and they're hosted on your own domains, it uses first-party cookies. So it will still be working next year when third-party cookies are more and more blocked by browsers. Using first-party cookies will still be available, and it's a very good opportunity to capture a lot of insight on your visitors. With these insights, you will be building segments. Also, you can do that in Unomi, and you can do that in Mautic. I will show you right away. And with those segments, those audience segments, by making them available both to Drupal and to Mautic, you can personalize your digital content across the different channels. And when you do that, of course, it's very, very important that you get insight in your campaigns. Do your personalization actions work? Some might work very well, others might not perform as you have expected. But by getting that rich campaign performance insight for the different segments, you can learn what works and what doesn't work, and you can enhance your marketing experiments. All right, so first step, getting insight in your visitors. What you see here is a screen from Dropsolid Experience Cloud. It's actually the customer data platform. So on this screen, you see all the profiles that we capture from your website. So each line here is a person visiting your website, a device, and it's those profiles get richer and richer across different website visits. Once we can identify someone reading emails on different devices, for example, on their desktop, but also on their mobile phone, we can connect these two profiles, or these two devices actually, into one profile. So these profiles really are individual visitors, and they get richer and richer over time, and the data level is really deep. So here you get an overview of all the people visiting your website. You see how the different segments compare to one another. Yeah, and you can really drill down also per segment. Second part of the data that you can see here is all the events. So each profile, each visitor on your website, when they are surfing, we capture all the events. An event can be a page view, an event can be a button click, an event can be that they select a part of text when they're reading content. It can be watching a video. So there's lots of events. It's also really rich, and you can also create your own events fairly easily using JavaScript. So we capture really a lot of data, metadata from the page, text that someone clicked into those user profiles. And in the third part, you can build your segments using all this data that we have seen in the events part. You can build those segments by yourself, but we have also a segment discovery part where our AI engine is really looking at all the data that we're capturing, all the events that we're capturing, and that engine is searching for groups of visitors with similar behavior that we can put into some kind of buckets. In this case, on the Dropsolid website, the AI detected that there is a certain group of users who really interact with very technical content. It's about DXP, native apps, Drupal content. But besides that, there is also a group engaging with content, more marketing content. They're searching for trainings, they're searching for customer success cases, UX. And there's a group of people who engage more with content about who our customers are and what we're doing and the jobs that we have available. So different people with similar behavior are put into predictive segments that you can then label as, for example, applicants that apply for a job, technical users, business users, and those segments you can use to personalize your website. So from these groups, you can create segments, but there's also another way to create segments with just simple rules. So the Mother's Day example I used for Sophia, everyone who comes in via a specific ad or with a specific UTM campaign parameter, you can also build segments, for example, for that type of people. And again, these segments also you can then use on your website to do personalization. So this was the first part, discovering data and building segments. Now comes the cool part. In Drupal, you can use these segments to personalize any part of content on your website. So what we're seeing here is the new layout builder in Drupal, where you have sections and content blocks. And if I click on one of these buttons, for example, to edit the properties of that block, you see here a very interesting part, the Unomi segment selection. It displays all the segments I've just created in the customer data platform. And for each block on the website, I can say, I only want to show this button in this case to the Explorer segment, so that on your homepage, the explorers see the workshop button or form or whatever type of content, while online shoppers see a button to go to the shop. So it's very easy. It's natively integrated into Drupal. So not an additional tool that you have to use. You can just do it in Drupal where you are used to managing all your content. To test how the website looks like for the different segments, it can also be challenging sometimes to pretend that you are in a segment. So we have created a browser plugin that is very easy for you as a marketer to use to test your website personalization campaigns. So you can select, again, any of the segments that you've created, and you can see how the website looks like when you would be in such a segment. So it's very easy to test the different personalization campaigns being like users from the different segments. Now, in your marketing automation, in this case, it's Mautic that we're seeing, you are also capturing a lot of insight in your visitors. So you can capture data from putting forms on your website, like newsletter subscriber form, where people can enter their name and their email address. You can also link your marketing automation to your CRM application so that you have your entire CRM data also available here. But what's cool is that you can also add custom fields. In this case, we've added a field that displays the personalization segments that we have created in the CDP. So these segments are also available in your Mautic marketing automation. So you can use them here also to personalize emails and digital actions on other channels. Excuse me. And of course, Mautic also tracks quite extensively the behavior of people on your website, like the forms that someone submitted or the emails that someone viewed. And you can also use that information directly in your marketing automation follow-up scenarios. When it comes to personalizing emails, this is the email editor of Mautic, where in this case, we have this piece of content, which is a dynamic content. So we can build different variations for the first article of our newsletter, and each variation will be shown, in this case, to the different segments, because we have them available here in Mautic as well. So you can personalize your website and you can personalize your emails for the same people in the same segments with the same content, so that you can create a really consistent user experience. And you can go really far. So the example before was just simple content variation inside a newsletter. If you want to create really personalized emails with different subject lines and different ordering of your content, you can really build campaigns like this, where you split up your audience per segment and you have really dedicated emails for each segment. The second part of the marketing automation that I would like to show you is how you can build forms. So we are no longer using the Drupal forms. We are building our forms right here in Mautic, where there is a very easy user interface where you can add fields to a form. You can order the fields. You have all the attributes like making fields required or not. It's a very easy to use tool without any line of code. You can build your forms here. You can also define your follow-up actions here. And then you can, in the next step, embed them very easily in your Drupal website. So here's where you build your form. And also in Mautic, in the campaign builder, you can build your follow-ups. So this is a campaign we've built, for example, for a tutorial form. What does it do? Well, once you've submitted the form, you get within a minute a download email. And if you have given an opt-in in the tutorial form, you're also put in certain segments, and there can be nurturing journeys starting right after that. So after 3 days, you will receive a specific email if you're in segment A. If you're in segment B, you get another email. And like that, you can really build these waterfall journeys so that you can follow up over time with more automated content to do lead nurturing. So again, here, it's very intuitive to build. It's just a WYSIWYG editor where you can build those journeys without any line of code. Now, to get these forms in your Drupal website, again, we switch to Drupal. So we're back in the layout builder, where you can add at any part of your pages, can choose to add new blocks. And when you click that, you get to choose different types of blocks. So you have USPs, body text, buttons, images, call to actions, and also marketing automation forms. And when you choose to add a marketing automation form, you can here select a form, any of the forms that you created in Mautic. So they're just visible here with the title of the form. And by selecting them here, you get them in the website. Also nicely integrated with the styling of the website, everything inherits, so it looks really nice out of the box. And a final step after you have built your personalization campaigns across the different channels is getting insight in the performance of those campaigns. And for that, of course, Mautic offers the typical email reporting. But what's really cool is that you also can see these segments that we've created at the very beginning of the demonstration. By using them as custom dimensions in Google Analytics, you can also follow up there how your segments are behaving. So you see the same segments that we created before, and for each of those segments, you can follow up what their conversion rate is, what their time on site is, how many pages they see on average per session, so that you can see here when you were doing personalization experiments across your different channels, does it help? Do they convert better? Do they spend more time on my site? Do they read more content? So it's very easy here to follow up. And you're no longer blind following up on your campaigns. You can really do that for the individual segments that are interesting for you to be following up. So a lot of things I've shown you, and all of them are included in Dropsolid Experience Cloud, but many of them are also available as we've contributed Drupal modules for that. So the Mautic paragraph integration inside your Drupal website, that's a module that we've contributed, as well as the You Know Me module that we've contributed for selecting the You Know Me segments in your Drupal website. So a lot of it's also available for any one of you to use as additional modules on top of your Drupal environment. And we're currently working on another module for making Drupal search smarter with machine learning. So with that, I've come to the end of my demonstration. I'm not sure if there's any questions right here in the chat, because I still think we have a few minutes left to answer them. And if that's not possible, and if you have questions at a later stage, yeah, just come and meet me at the Dropsolid booth or ping me via the Meeting Hub or on LinkedIn. I'd be happy to hear what you think of the demonstration and to answer your questions at any point in time. So do we have questions?
I just quickly looked. Oh, I'm sorry for the sound. Quickly looked. There are no questions at the moment, but we'll check later on. If you want to follow us to our booth, I've put a link in the chat, so you can always ask some more questions. Lean will also be there, so you can just hop into our Google Meet and ask some more questions. Lean, for you, thank you for the interesting demo, and we'll see you on a later stage.
Okay, thanks for joining. Enjoy DrupalCon. Bye.